From zero to controlled AI video. Hey, welcome. This video is for you if you have never done any of this before. If you looked at AI video tools online and thought, I have no idea where to even start, here is what we are going to do. We are going to take a single interior image, a photo of a room. And by the end of this video, we are going to turn that image into a fully controlled AI video scene, step by step, click by click, slowly. We are using 3 tools today: Google Flow, Nano Banana, and Veo, and right now, those names probably mean nothing to you. That is completely fine, because by the end, you will know exactly what each one does and exactly how to use them together. The 3 tools, let us start with the simplest possible explanation of each one. Google Flow is the workspace. Think of it as the table you lay everything out on. It is where you connect your tools, feed in your inputs, and run your pipeline. You will do most of your work inside Flow. Nano Banana is your structure engine. This is the tool that looks at your image and turns it into organized data. Not just a vague description, actual structured information you can edit and control. It can also build your prompts for you in a specific modular format where each piece of your scene lives in its own labeled block. We are going to spend a lot of time with Nano Banana because it is the foundation of everything. Veo is Google's video generation tool. You give it a prompt, you give it a reference image, and it generates a video clip from that. The problem most people have with Veo is they just type a random description and hope for the best. What we are building today is a system where you never just hope, because your prompt is built from actual structure, not guessing. Here's how the 3 connect in one sentence. Flow organizes your workspace. Nano Banana extracts your structure and builds your modules. Veo turns those modules into a video that is the whole pipeline, and we are going to build every part of it together. Setting up, open your browser and go to Google Flow. When the page loads, you will see your workspace. It looks like a canvas with a sidebar. The sidebar is where your tools live. Nano Banana and Veo will both be accessible from here as connected tools. If you do not see them yet, look for a Tools or Integrations panel. Find Nano Banana in the list and connect it. Do the same for Veo. Now let us talk about the image we are going to use for this tutorial. We are working with an interior image, a photo of a room. The ideal image has a few qualities. It should be a real photo, not a painting or illustration. The room should have distinct visible objects, a sofa, a table, visible walls, and the lighting should be somewhat readable. You can tell roughly where the light is coming from. If you do not have an image like this, go to Unsplash, that is unsplash.com. Search for modern living room. Pick any photo, download it, it is free. Upload that image into your Flow workspace. There will be an upload or import button. Click it, find your image, confirm. You will see a thumbnail of your image appear in the canvas. Good. That image is now your anchor. Everything we do builds from this. What is JSON? Quickly, before we do anything else, I want to explain JSON because it is going to appear a lot, and it sounds more complicated than it is. JSON is just a labeled form. Imagine you're filing information about your sofa. You have a box for the material, a box for the color, a box for where it is in the room. JSON is exactly that. Every piece of information has a name, and that name tells you exactly what you're looking at. Here's why we use it instead of plain text. If I write, the sofa is a beige fabric sofa positioned in the center of the room near a wooden table, and then I ask you to change just the color, you have to read the whole sentence. Find the color, change it. Hope nothing else breaks in JSON. You go straight to the color field, change it, done, nothing else moves. When your scene has 10 objects and multiple lighting sources, that precision becomes everything. Nano Banana JSON extraction. Now let us open Nano Banana inside Flow. Click on it in your Tools sidebar. A panel will open, you will see a prompt input area, and an option to attach or reference your uploaded image. Nano Banana works by taking your image as input and returning a structured JSON description of what it sees. The way you control what comes back is by telling it exactly which fields you want. We call this the extraction prompt, and you're going to type it directly into Nano Banana. Here's what the extraction prompt does. It tells Nano Banana to act as a scene analyst, it tells it to look at the image, and it tells it exactly which fields to return in what format. It also tells it to return only the JSON. No intro sentences, no explanation, just the structured data. That last part matters. If you do not say that, it will sometimes write a paragraph before the JSON, and that paragraph gets in the way when you want to copy and paste. In Task 2, you will find both extraction prompts ready to copy, but let me read through what they are asking for. You're asking for the room style, the time of day if visible, a list of objects, each with a name, a color, a material, a finish, and a position in the room, the lighting sources and constraints, which are the rules for what must not happen in any output we generate. Now paste variation A into Nano Banana, make sure your image is attached, and send it. Pause. What comes back is your first JSON output. Read through it, you will see the room style at the top, then time of day, then a lighting section with sources, then your objects list, each object with its own fields, and at the bottom your constraints. This is your scene in data form, not a description, not a vague paragraph, organized, labeled, extractable information. Now run, variation B, same image, different extraction focus. Variation B is oriented toward a cooler industrial read of the same space. You will see different values come back, different tone, different material emphasis. Look at both outputs side by side. The structure is identical. The same fields in the same order, only the values are different. This is the foundation of the whole system. Same structure, different content. That is what makes it controllable. Turning JSON into modules. Now we take that JSON and we convert it into modular blocks. This is the Nano Banana module format. Instead of one big JSON object, we break it into clearly labeled sections. Each section has a label in capital letters, and below that label, just the relevant information. There are 5 core blocks. Environment. This is the overall room description. Style, mood, time of day, schema, the angle, and the movement, if any. Lighting, all the light sources, their direction and quality. Objects, a separate block for each object in the scene. Constraints, the rules, what must not happen. You do not need to convert this manually. Nano Banana can do it for you. In task 2, you will find the conversion prompt. You paste your JSON into Nano Banana, tell it to reformat into modular blocks, and it returns the 5-block structure. When it comes back, read through each block. Environment should describe the room clearly in 2 or 3 lines. Schema should have the angle on one line and the movement on the next. If your JSON did not capture camera, that is fine, we will add it ourselves. Lighting should list each source, then the tone, then how surfaces respond to that light. Each object block should have the material, the finish, the position, and a note on how it responds to light. Constraints should list each rule on its own line. Do this for both variations. Variation A will give you a warm modular structure. Variation B will give you a cool one. These module blocks are now what you work from, not the raw JSON anymore. The modules are your editable building blocks, one change to one block. Everything else stays exactly the same. Adding lighting contracts. Now we deepen the lighting block. Of everything you can change in a scene, lighting has the biggest impact on how the final output feels. Same room, same objects, same camera, but change the lighting. And the room feels completely different. A warm sunset light makes a space feel intimate and golden. A cool morning light makes the same space feel crisp and clean. Go into your lighting block. We are going to expand it. Good lighting context has 4 things. The source, where is the light coming from? The quality, soft and diffused or hard and directional. The tone, warm yellows and oranges or cool blues and whites. And the surface response. What does the light do when it hits each material? For variation A, we are deepening the warm sunset lighting. You're going to add long, gentle shadow gradients across surfaces, warm golden tone overall. Fabric absorbs side lighting. Wood surface catches warm rim highlight. For variation B, we are deepening the cool morning lighting. You're going to add flat, even shadow distribution, cool white tone overall, low contrast between light and shadow areas. Concrete surface shows hard, flat reflection. Run the updated modules through Nano Banana once. Ask it to confirm it understands the structure and is ready to proceed. It will read back what it sees. This is just a sanity check. Making sure everything is intact before we move to video. Adding camera contracts. Camera is the next layer, and this is the one most beginners skip completely without camera context. The AI picks its own point of view, and that choice might not match what you had in mind. Camera context gives you 2 things: the angle where the camera is in the room, and the movement, whether it is still or traveling. Eye level means you're standing in the room looking across. This is the most natural human perspective. Slightly elevated means the camera is higher than eye level, looking slightly down. This shows more of the room, good for wide establishing shots. For movement, a slow forward push makes the viewer feel like they are entering the space. Cinematic immersive. A static frame gives you a calm, wide, composed shot, good for showcasing the full room without drama. Go into your camera block, variation A camera. Eye level, slow forward push, smooth and continuous variation B camera. Slightly elevated wide frame, static, no movement. Now look at what each variation is becoming. Variation A is a warm sunset room. with a camera slowly pulling you inside. Variation B is a cool morning room, wide and still, like an architectural photograph that comes alive. Same room, completely different emotional experience. Adding material detail. Now we go into the object blocks and add material depth. Without material detail, a sofa is just a sofa. The AI fills in whatever it feels like. With material detail, the AI knows exactly how light hits that surface, how shadows fall across it, how it looks as the camera approaches. Material context has three parts for each object. The material name, fabric, oak wood, polished concrete, the finish, matte, gloss, smooth, rough, and the light response. Does it absorb light, reflect it, diffuse it? Go through each object block. Update or add all three parts. In task 2, you will find both variations fully written out, but make sure you understand what each line is doing, because when you use your own images, you will need to fill these in yourself. Converting to a VO prompt. Now we take everything we have built, and we write a VO prompt from it. A VO prompt is not Json. It is normal descriptive language, but it is built from your modules, not written from scratch. Think of it as translating. You built the structure, now you convert that structure into sentences VO can act on. The translation follows a simple pattern. First, tell VO to reference the image. Second, describe the environment from your environment block. Third, describe the lighting from your lighting block. Fourth, describe the objects from your object blocks. Fifth, describe the camera from your camera block. And last, state your constraints from your constraints block. In task 2, you will find both VO prompts already converted. Read through them. Notice how every detail maps directly back to a block. Nothing in the VO prompt was invented. It was all built, running in VO Open VO inside Flow, or navigate to it directly if it is a separate tab. You will see two main areas, one for your reference image, one for your prompt. Upload your reference image first, wait for the thumbnail to confirm, then paste variation A, the full prompt. Starting from the reference image line, read through it once before sending. Make sure nothing got cut off, then click Generate. VO will process this, can take anywhere from 30 seconds to a few minutes. Do not refresh, just wait. When the clip is ready, watch it through once. Then watch again looking for 3 specific things. Does the camera move the way you described? Does the lighting match? Are the objects in roughly the right positions? If those 3 things check out, your system is working. If something is off, that is completely normal. That is what the refinement step is for. Refining through modules. Here's where the modular approach pays off completely. If your output was almost right, but the lighting felt too bright, you do not rewrite the whole prompt. You go back to your lighting block, change 2 words. Resend, new clip, same everything else, just the lighting adjusted, the most common things to fix and where to fix them. Camera moves too fast, go to camera block. Add the words very slow before the movement description. Lighting too harsh, go to lighting block, add soft before every source. Add low contrast to the shadow description. Object material looks wrong. Go to that object block, make the material more specific. Instead of fabric, write soft, textured boucle, fabric matte finish. Something appeared that was not in the reference image. Go to constrainters, add a specific exclusion line. Every problem has a specific block. You always know exactly what to change, and why. Run variation A first, then run variation B. Compare the 2 outputs. Notice how different they feel. Same room, same pipeline, different values in the blocks. Then run the refinement prompts from task 2. These are smaller additive passes. They do not rewrite the scene, they sharpen specific details. Surface reflections, shadow depth, material texture as the camera approaches. These are the finishing details. The difference between a good output and one that feels real. What you have built, take a moment here. You started with a photograph. You used Nano Banana inside Google Flow to extract a structured JSON description from that photograph. You converted that JSON into modular blocks. 5 blocks: environment, camera, lighting, objects, constraints. You deepened each block progressively: lighting context, camera context, material detail. At every stage, you generated 2 variations, so you always had options, not just one output. Then you converted your full module structure into VO prompts, ran them, refined them. That is a professional AI video pipeline built from scratch. You did not type a prompt and hope you built a system. Most people who use these tools spend hours on random prompts, getting inconsistent results, feeling like the tool is doing whatever it wants. That happens because they are describing images, not building scenes. When you describe, you are at the mercy of interpretation. When you build, you are in control. Now that you understand the pipeline, practice with different images. Try a bedroom, a kitchen, an office space. The 5 blocks stay the same every time, only the content inside them changes. And when you find a lighting configuration that works really well, save that lighting block. When you find a camera movement you love, save that camera block. Over time, you will have a library of tested components that you can mix and match for any new scene. That is where this becomes truly powerful. See you in the next one.